Now at 6 o'clock, did you feel it this morning? Rumbling, rattling, and shaking. A 4.9 magnitude quake providing an early morning jolt that could be felt as far away as Houston. Tonight, reaction to the Pelican State's second largest earthquake on record. It is also the 10th earthquake in our area since December. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for the news at 6. I'm Jonathan McCall.
And I'm Johnette Magner. The U.S. Geological Survey reported the earthquake epicenter was west of Edgefield at actually a shallow depth of about 3 miles. So far, there are more than 1,200 reports that have come in. This map gives us a look at just how widespread people could feel the impact from this morning's quake. The USGS received reports from as far west as Fort Worth, south as Houston, east in Baton Rouge, and north to Little Rock, and this makes it one of the strongest quakes recorded in Louisiana. In Armistead, workers at the community's only gas station said the shaking was strong enough to feel like something hit the building. And a man from Texas who is working in Louisiana says the third floor of his hotel room this morning in Mansfield was shaking.
Gary Hanson is a retired geologist from LSU Shreveport. He joins us live here in studio tonight to talk a little bit about what happened, why we continue to see this problem, and is it going to continue to get worse for us here, Gary?
It probably will continue. We have several areas where you see these type of earthquakes. This is the largest, but we've had bigger earthquakes in other areas of the country, dealing with mainly flowback water from hydraulic fracturing. Not from the fracturing itself, but from the water that comes out and gets put into injection wells. Right now, we don't have a lot of statewide wells. We have a lot of individuals, community-type people that put together their wells, and they're out there pumping that water in. And what we need to do is get to the bigger wells that are really have the geology where you don't see any faults in the area and inject it there, not in these random areas. And 4.9 is pretty large that I've seen across the country for soft sediments like we have here. Dallas has really hard rocks. Little Rock does. Oklahoma does. And Oklahoma at the 5.9 was quite destructive.
Yeah, back in 2016.
Right. Yeah. I believe our 6.0 is the one I've seen offshore before. And that's a completely different type. It's not human directed, it's geology. And that has nothing to do with what we're doing up here.
Often we're confused by those numbers and that scale. Can you interpret that? Because I don't think what many people assume is actually correct.
It used to be the Richter scale, and everybody still says that, most of the people in the press. It's the moment magnitude scale now. What that's doing is what happens in the focus of the earthquake, which is down under the earth. Projected up is where you actually see the data that people look at and say, oh my God, we got a 5.0. But it's actual breaking of the rock and the calculations that go into that magnitude. We have another scale, which is an intensity scale, and that scale is in Roman numerals. That was before we ever had any seismographs. So that one really tells you what's happening on the surface, damage at the surface, things like that is what that's for.
Gary, we talked a little bit about this, or asked you this a little bit earlier. We've seen these earthquakes, obviously, from pumping the water back into the ground. We've seen the intensity of these quakes continue to get stronger and stronger over the last few months or even years. Obviously, a 4.9, nothing to sneeze at. Should folks now get ready for the potential of even stronger earthquakes in our area?
I don't want to do like the geologists and geophysicists did in Italy. They got arrested by predicting this type of stuff. I can't see it going much over that, really, with the type of geology we have. Where this one was located, and if I could show you, this is the map, like I said, where the hard rocks are back here. We have softer rocks here, which usually don't give you really strong, high magnitudes. If we look from Dallas back to Shreveport to Coushatta, we have a big bump here, and it's pretty deep. It's pretty big, and it's down into some of the hard rocks here with faults. So it's around this area, it looks like, where we're getting those intense magnitude tremors or earthquakes, is around this particular area. that we've seen them that large. These Texas winds have not gotten just over the line, have been 2.5 to 4.0 maybe.
Is there anything that we should be doing differently?
No, it's more an inconvenience. It's bothersome. It gets on your nerves. I was in that big earthquake, as I mentioned before. It knocked me completely out of my bed onto a concrete floor. That's when you have to worry about things. We're not going to have earthquakes like that. It's just not feasible. This is not an active area for things like that.
Interesting. All right. Gary Hanson, a retired geologist from LSU Shreveport, joining us live tonight to talk about the impacts of this morning's earthquake. Gary, thank you so much for your analysis and your expertise.